Okay, we're back. There's our cluttery entryway. There's our cluttered entryway. And behind me you can see our cluttered TV stand. Oh, that's the hazards of tiny house living. Welcome back, welcome back. If you're in our Perry Fam group, I posted the pictures from the book. If you're not in the group, find me on Facebook. We're back! And we'll add you to that discussion group. You can find me at facebook.com. Hi, Kim. Hi. Facebook.com/L Michelle Wolf. 2 L's, 2 F's. And we can add you to that group. So the pages are there. That's what took me so long is, my phone is like so slow. Well, not my phone, but my signal. So anyway, kitty things, doggy things, everything things. Yeah. Heath's out working on the cabin, and we don't really have that much left out there. We are slowly adopting a minimalist lifestyle. Hi, Kim. Kim, did you want a reward? I exceeded the goal too, by the way, slightly over $1,000, like $1,005 or $1,010. I got all verklempt a few minutes ago talking about it. Yes, it's a miracle. It's amazing. It's awesome and wonderful. So when we use our storytelling brain for good, we can use it to help us solve problems, which Martha Beck encourages us to think of as puzzles to solve, so that we approach our problems and issues with a sense of curiosity, engaging our imagination to help us. The light behind me is distracting, so I'm going to stand up where you can see even more clutter and turn that off. That's bothering me. And let's see, let's try maybe just this one. That's better. That's better. More cat stuff. I've got a lot of cat litter boxes around lately because I got sent some cat litter to write reviews about, which I haven't done yet. It's always not fun to get a product for cats and then use it and decide that, okay, you think about it and let me know. So, what we use right now is the Blue Buffalo. It's crushed walnut stuff. I have a bag right here. This. Naturally fresh, scoopable, low dust. It's crushed walnut hulls, so it's totally natural. We have the multi-cat formula. Commercial break. Brought to you by, I wish it was brought to you by Blue Buffalo's Naturally Fresh. We've used this for quite a while. Yep. And there's the problem is it's dark brown, so we have to have rugs under the litter boxes, or they track that dark brown crushed up stuff onto the floor, which is kind of a drag, but it vacuums up easily, and they all track. Superior odor control. However, if you'd like an alternative, there's OcoCat. They all track. OcoCat dust-free, healthy pet. Oh, cats are fighting in the bedroom. I have 3 different boxes of OcoCat to write reviews about. My favorite is OcoCat pine pellets, but Heath doesn't like the smell of wet pine. I don't smell it. I like it. It's minimal tracking, but we don't use it because he can't stand the smell. So there's that. Feline pine is another one. Well, yeah, this one gets the poop smell if they cover it. I have 2 that don't cover their poop. Why, I don't know, but it's horrendous. It's really bad. So anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hello, Estrella, right? Nice to see you. So let's talk about metaphor. Looking at your problems in terms of a metaphor can get your emotions out of the way. If you're looking at, anything, if we consider it a problem, there's some negativity attached to it, which will keep you from coming up with creative solutions or even creative options to try, because when you're stressed, you don't breathe well. Not breathing well sends your blood flow back here, and this is not where you do your best thinking. You need your blood flow up here. So deep breathing and looking at problems as, damn it, cats are fighting in the bedroom. That's super frustrating. I would really like to find a solution to that problem. Okay, hold on. You guys! Have you had fun talking to yourselves? Jeez, I'm sorry. It's the twins on Thursdays and Saturdays and the cats every other day of the week. I don't think they're ever going to stop it. The black one, Juniper Hoot, had the little one, Ginger Rose, all up in the corner attacking her. I don't know. I'm at a loss there, guys. If you have suggestions, for what I should do or some things to try, with everything that I know, I'm at a total loss on that situation. It's not getting any better. Okay. Concrete ways to run your puzzle cracking program. There's still 11 people here. Oh my gosh. I probably would have given up by now and left. The first thing to do is consciously define the puzzle you want to crack. First of all, I would say, take a few deep breaths and define it as a puzzle you're trying to crack, not a problem, a puzzle. You are persistent. We're all persistent, I guess, because I'm like, hold on, let's talk about cat litter. Hold on, let me go break up a cat fight. Hold on, let me go inside and warm up. Yes, I keep coming back and you guys are still here and that's awesome. Okay, define the puzzle you want to crack. Establish the purpose for cracking it. Is it something you really need to solve? Is it something you even need to worry about right now? And if it is, define that reason. Why does it need to be dealt with right now? Maybe just to get it off your mind. Drop into wordlessness and access oneness, which revs up your nonverbal right hemisphere. And dropping into wordlessness and oneness is that getting quiet, letting go, and accessing that sense of being part of the whole, being the wave in the ocean, accessing that sense of connection to source. The more you can get there, the more access to information you have. Makes sense. Power your imagination with play and rest. If you take all these steps, eventually the solution, or at least an idea to a solution, will pop out of your wordless right hemisphere and become a conscious verbal thought. This isn't thinking. Tonka? Yeah, buddy. This isn't thinking as you were taught to do while preparing for your SATs, which I never took. If you drop out of high school and get your GED and then go back to college as an older adult, they don't make you take the SATs. It's your true nature's amazing method of finding its way through the material world, working to create something that occurs only in your imagination first. There's a way around everything. So I never had to take them. I did take the battery exams for the Air Force, though, so I think they were equally horrible. I've tried Rescue Remedy and German Chamomile, Stress Away. I've tried Melissa Shelton's blends of chamomile, which does help. Right now, I just installed right in their area a product called Feel Away, which works really well. Actually, when the Feel Away thing runs out, they're murderously fighting. Nope. Male and female. 3 males and 2 females in this here house. The Feel Away works the best. I've got it up now where it has a more broad diffusion in the room. So we'll see if that helps. And they have stopped actually drawing blood. Now they're just making a whole lot of noise. And one of them just took off there. Hey, but I did find out that canned air sounds like a hissing sound. So when they're really going at it, if I hiss the can, it breaks up the fight. And it just spilled coffee. Okay. I think it's territory. No, that one's not mine. I wish it was. The dog over there is mine. Of course, the light's on it so strong you can't see it. Yeah, the canned air works to bust up a fight when it's in progress. And they're not, like I said, they're not, except for a couple of times, they're not actively touching, making physical contact. But they're making so much noise that it's awful. Yeah, the dog. The dog's one of the first ones I did. Okay. Here's what you do. Think of your puzzle. Think of your problem. And you can follow along here as I read it if you want. The goal is you're going to look around the room. And you're going to see what catches your attention. And then we're going to ask some questions about how it's like your puzzle that you're trying to solve. So think of your puzzle and get relaxed. Let's say that your puzzle is one of my clients' favorites. How can I make a living doing something I love? This is the example. After stating that question, or the question about your puzzle, get calm, feel your connection to source, feel your infinite power, and expand your intention to include the ultimate purpose of happiness for everyone, joy for all beings. Now you're going to generate several metaphors related to the puzzle, and do this by noticing how your puzzle is like any object you happen to see around you right now. So seeing the metaphor for what you see around you right now. To show you how this works, I'll notice objects near me, then let my brain suggest how each object may be like the process of making money doing something enjoyable. Is this making sense? So she looks around. If you're not on Facebook, here's the chart. If you want to screenshot that, you'll have to expand it to read the tiny print. Take a look around the room, and the first thing she sees, first random item, is a baseball hat. A baseball hat protects, sorry, I'm a little distracted now. Random item, something about this item that catches my attention, and how the item may be like earning money joyfully. You can take the chart off of Facebook and do this for yourself when you're calm. If you're not calm right now. Random item she first sees is a baseball hat. Something about the item that catches the attention is a baseball hat protects a player's eyes from sunlight. How this item may be like earning money joyfully. I work more happily if I block distractions the way a hat blocks sunlight. I could put up a time-space shield to keep myself from being interrupted. So when you're in an imaginative state, those connections are a little easier to find. The next thing she sees is a photograph. Something about it that catches attention. Photos used to be slow to develop and hard to retouch. Now digital photographs develop instantly, and anyone can retouch them on a computer. How is that like making money doing what I love? Maybe I can use new technology to do something quickly that used to take a lot of time. I can offer something of value without putting in massive time and effort. The next thing she sees is a dog. Dogs do everything for fun, and people support them for this very reason. If I maximize my fun levels until I feel the buoyancy and happiness dogs do, maybe people will pay me just to hang out and bark. Isn't that what we do with our dogs? And I won't say cats, because right now I could give all mine away. Not really, but I mean, that's why we take care of Buck outside. He's not even our dog, and he has a cushy house and canned food, and his brothers and sisters and mom come down and have access to the food and the warm house when it's cold, because we just love him. The dogs just radiate love, and so we're like, well, here's a warm, cozy house and some canned food because we like how you radiate love. Imagination is a real place. The dream time. Yeah, we aren't taught that, but I believe so too. It's another room in the many rooms of energy. Oh, yeah, we do that. We've done that. It's an energetic space. I believe that too. We have access to all these different rooms, I guess, or different rays of the sun, different currents in a river, and where we put our attention is what we have access to. The Aboriginal people, the Australian Aboriginal people called it the dream time or the every win, maybe both. She refers to both in the book, the dream time and the every win. Everything and every win, every point in time, every point in space, everything that's ever happened. The collective unconscious, I believe, is what Jung was talking about with regard to imagination. That's where that information is. But you have to train yourself to access it. So you think of the puzzle, you get relaxed, you feel your way into that infinite space and that oneness with Source, and then raise your eyes up and notice the first thing you see and ask yourself, what about this object is catching my attention? The answers will come. When you're in that place, like when you're not in that place, you're like, I don't know. But when you're in that place, the similarities just naturally come. And then you say, how is this item like this issue I have, this puzzle I'm trying to solve? So I've done this numerous times, and I did it last night because I've been, really decided hardcore that traditional marketing is not for me, and I am not going to waste another single moment trying to figure it out. I've tried to make it work for way too long. I was a little stubborn on that subject because it makes sense, right? Well, you just do this, you do this, you do this. And I'm like, okay, I do that, and it still doesn't work. And I find the whole process nauseating. So, done. I'm done with it. So in my handy dandy workbook, in the back are these little pages, right? So I took one, and this is really short. And the answers come so quick these days. It used to take me a long time to figure stuff out. So using the metaphor game, here's my chart. I still have this question, or had till last night, this question of, but then how do I, it's the conflict between what my ego knows and what my soul knows to be true. So my ego says, but you've got to advertise or people won't find your workshops. If they don't find your workshops, yada, yada, yada. You know the story. You've got your own story. It sounds very similar, I'm sure. And then my soul knows that if I make connections truly unlimited dilemma, a dilemma. Yeah. Yes, the conflict between the two. My soul knows that if I make those connections in the every win first, it's okay. We can figure it out. We all know we fumble fingers. Right. Yeah, because that's my favorite thing to do. And it works. My business exploded with Periscope. Relatively speaking, it's still small, and I think it's going to stay small, and that's okay. I can't manage it if it's too big because I put too much into it. I don't want to put less into it, so small is good. So my soul knows when I am doing what I want to do, when I'm just purely giving because it feels good to me. You know, sometimes you've given and it didn't feel good to give. Advertising is aggravating. Traditional advertising is aggravating. I know when I'm in the every win, that I can connect to people on that level, and eventually they show up in my physical world. Oh, every time. I know from experience that I can work out conflict when connecting to the every win. Yes. Then I'm relaxed, new ideas flow. I run across people who can write great copy. I run across a method that gets me out in the world in a way that I truly enjoy. I love Periscope. I don't love email marketing. So the energy is totally different, right? So here's what I did last night with the metaphor. So my puzzle is, what do I need to do to keep getting the word out there? Thank you. And I open my eyes. The first thing I see is a cat. Now you could say the first thing I'm going to see in every room at any time is a cat. Because there's more of them per capita in our space. But let's just stay with the metaphor. The first thing I see is a cat. What about the cat catches my attention? Cat is love. The first thing that comes to mind when I say, what about the cat catches my attention, is ease. That's the first word I hear. The second word I hear is faith. Ease and faith. Cats are easy, except when they're balled up in the corner fighting. But this cat was, they were in the meatloaf position with how they curl their paws up and they're just kind of dozing or doing what they do. That's ease. They know now, the ones that came from the street, it's so cute, it's my favorite when they have their little paws tucked up. They didn't know when I first got them, or when two of them joined us, they were extremely fearful. Yeah, they're comfy, they're fed, they're content. They just represent ease. So then the next question is, how is this cat that I'm observing related to my puzzle about my questions about marketing? Well, the first three things I wrote down is cats allow. Cats allow life. Their basic needs are met. When their basic needs weren't met, they were in pretty bad shape when we were two of them. But they were still allowing. They don't argue with reality. The next thing I wrote was they wait patiently and silently. And then the next thing I wrote is they are easy and fluid. They don't fight it. Yeah. So they wait. An example is they run Ginger under the bed. And if I don't break it up, Tonka will sit there for hours and waiting for her to come out. He wants to play with her, but she can't possibly understand that. But when they're hunting mice or when something has their attention, they're willing to sit there in calm, ease, and faith that something will eventually happen. It takes him a really long time to get bored with the situation and walk away. Methodical, yeah. They allow they wait patiently and silently. And the silent part is in my head. Patience and silence and strategy, methodical. And it's, yeah, so much patience and attack only when it's time. Okay, so they wait, they wait with ease and faith that some, I'm projecting, of course, but this is my metaphor. My perception is they wait with ease and with faith that something's going to happen. And when they're ready, when it happens, they jump. They don't take action until it's appropriate to take action. Until the action presents itself by the mouse running out or the cat trying to come out. They don't take action until then, until it's time to win. And yeah, and when they take the action, they achieve their goal 9 times out of 10. And when they don't achieve their goal, they go back to ease and waiting. Action for the win. When you take action, when it's time to take action, you win. That's how this process works, is you see how it engages a completely different way of looking at it. That gives my ego mind something to hold on to. It makes my soul's knowing tangible. You suddenly like cats will teach you an awful lot about yourself and how you see the world. And how to let go of control. Cats will teach you that. It was a funny process watching my husband with Grit. He'd never had cats before and didn't like cats. And then she stole his heart. And he was saying, well, she just has to stay off the counter. And I was like, right. And he was like, well, that's all I was. I just want her to stay off the counter. I just sold you on cats. Think it over before you get one, because they're definitely a different kind of animal. So she would get up on the counter and he would put her down. She would get up on the counter and he would put her down. She would get up on the counter and he would put her down. And I was like, you're not going to win that battle. Don't get one unless you really want to deal with letting go of total control. I do love them. I love dogs too. Cats do what they want and you work with them. You don't dominate them. You have to work with their behavior. That's how cats end up as shelters. Is people don't understand you. It's like life. You work with life. When you argue with life, you lose. When you argue with a cat, you lose. Because they will not be controlled. They'd rather die. Yeah. Right. Neither do they. They don't want to be owned either, and they won't let you. They won't let you own them. Cats have not been domesticated as long as dogs. Yeah, it's like a privilege, right? When they let you love them, when they let you pet them, they're still very primal. Which makes it hard when you're trying to problem solve. Co-creation at its best, yes. And yeah, when they let you pet them, you're just like, oh, I must be special. When really their feet are probably cold. Cats are aliens, true. No, they are very affectionate, but their affection is different. And you don't have to, yes, right, you don't have to take them for walks. Yep. Yeah, definitely some people are like cats and dogs. And if they purr too, it's such an honor. Yeah. It feels like a special dispensation from the cat pope. You get their attention. Okay, so you see how that process works? Try that. If you have a problem that you're still struggling with, especially if it's a conflict between what your ego thinks you should do and what your soul knows is right. And you can apply this to anything that's on your mind that's bothering you in any way. Get relaxed. Define your problem on paper. On paper is the best way to do it, is it really takes you to a different place. Define it on paper. In my opinion, writing it on paper helps you see things more clearly. It makes the invisible visible in a way. Define the problem. Get in your your wordless and oneness state of mind, state of being, and then scan the room. And you can do that with 5 or 6 objects. And when you're relaxed, the connections will be. Just take the first word that comes to your mind, the first thought that comes to your mind when you say, "What about this object catches my attention? What's catching my attention about this?" Take the first thing you hear. Don't analyze it. And how is this like my problem? How is this related? And take the first impulse you get, the first answer, or the first image, or the first feeling. Some people hear words, some people feel a feeling, some people see an image. Take the first thing you get and write it down in your little chart. And do that for, and then when you feel like you've got all the information from that, go on to the next thing. In this case, I didn't need to go on to the next thing. The first thing I saw, I was like, okay, yeah. All right, I get it. I just have to get comfortable with that process. And that's just a process of learning a new process. An anti-process. It's really an anti-process, right? And I don't take action until there's action to take. And then when I take action, I win. Any questions on that? Dread making phone calls and end the day with nothing done. Oh dear. So you can apply it to that. You can define your puzzle as, there are phone calls I really need to make. And I dread making... Oh, schedule time. Oh, that's a good way to do it. If you schedule it, from 8 to 9, I'm going to make phone calls. Then it's limited. I only have to deal with this for 1 hour. From 8 to 9, I'm going to make all the calls I need to make. And when 9 o'clock comes, whatever call hasn't been made, I'm done for the day. So then you have if it's on the calendar, you don't worry the other times. Yeah, if I put stuff on the calendar, it helps me a lot to let go of trying to track it all. Yes, time boxing. Perfect. Yeah, time boxing. I mean, doing your schoolwork using the Pomodoro technique. What's that? What's the Pomodoro technique? I don't think I've heard of that. Or if I heard of it, it didn't register. Oh, a timer. Oh, timers help. Yeah. It's like, I'm just going to work for 15 minutes. I'm just going to do the dishes for 15 minutes. That's the worst. I'm just going to do 1 load of laundry. Okay, thanks. So we have a group. We have a lot of stuff in our group. So, oh, cool. So Roseanne put in stuff about Jeff Foster. I uploaded these pages for you to use. You can download and use the charts, or write your own or whatever. And then now we'll have stuff on. We've got all kinds of stuff in our group today. Oh, awesome, Linda. Oh, really cool. I never heard of it. We're on fire. We are on fire. We've gone through a lot of transformation together, and now new tools, or old tools, are being revisited, or we're getting new tools to help us now at this stage. Right. Next step, the world. We're like Pinky and the Brain. Mm-hmm. World domination. And we're taking over. We're going to take over the world one step at a time. No way, that's awesome. We'll get there by probably Wednesday. 500,000 500,000 hearts. That's pretty cool. Thank you. That's really, really cool. That's so fun. That's the fun part about Periscope, isn't it? Before Wednesday. Maybe so. Really? I love it. This is the best social media platform ever. I hate when the 2 days I've missed, I was really not happy about it. Yeah. You can do, Michelle's like, I can do 500 in 2 minutes. Watch this. We'll hammer this out in nothing flat. 500,000 hearts. 2 million hearts. I don't want to be a show-off, but I double that. Lightning fingers. You guys. Well, for the longest time, all the hearts y'all were giving weren't counting. Thanks to Android and Periscope app Android problems. There's a different app that shows you the stats. So on Periscope, it would show like 2,000 hearts. And on the other app, it would show 8,000 or 9,000 hearts. So you guys were tapping and Periscope wasn't registering it anyway. I do. I love those pink hearts. We got a dark pink and a light pink and a blue and a turquoise and a pumpkin-y yellow gold. Let's call that gold. Last night I was at Sprouts Market. It was like a health food store. Watch how I double tap. And they had pumpkin flavored health food style Cheerio cereal. And I know this will surprise you, but they had like 500 boxes of that on clearance. Nobody bought that. Ew. Yeah. Pumpkin spice Cheerios. And I guess they didn't sell a single box. Because they had 3 buggies filled with that. Yeah, it sounds disgusting. Everybody else thought it was disgusting too. Linda's McTexty text. She's so fast. She's so fast with the emojis. Linda can throw up emojis faster than anyone. Pumpkin pie is the only good use of pumpkin. Yeah, I like pumpkin soup. If you get a nice pumpkin soup, that's nice. But yeah, I don't want pumpkin anything except pumpkin pie. Yes, you have to start over at 500. You have to pop in and out. It's crazy. It's just, I know, right? Pumpkin soup's good if it's done right. Yeah. The hearts are, they're a fun entertainment thing. But they definitely shouldn't be used for value judgment. In the beginning, people were saying, well, the hearts are used to let you know if a scoper's worth listening to, basically. And I was like, well, that's terrible because the hearts aren't even working half the time. Yeah, and sometimes it registers the number. That's awesome. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I know you guys are tapping because I can see it happening, but then it doesn't register it later. So a long time ago, I was like, whatever. It's not even worth thinking about, except it's pretty in the moment. 1900. Not to brag, but here it comes. I know, me too. I don't worry about it. Nina, you guys are funny. Not to brag, Linda says, but I'm over 1,000. What can I say? Spaghetti squash pumpkin isn't very... I like spaghetti squash. I'm not sure how it works either. I actually think half the time it still doesn't work. I like spaghetti squash a lot with like garlic and butter and some Parmesan cheese. So, but we have to go into town now. I know. I'm hungry too. It's I haven't had breakfast yet. I've had quite a lot of coffee, so I'll go talk my husband's ear off. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the support and the marketing. I mean, you guys are doing a better job of it than I am. Thanks for spreading the word about the GoFundMe campaign. Yeah, you're welcome. I really wanted to share this tool. It's It's such a nice tool to use. 500,000 hearts. We're almost at 500,000, Keith.
Oh, yeah?
He doesn't care. All right, I will see you tomorrow's Monday. Totally forgot to do an oil scope last Monday. So I'll be back in the morning. Thank you for all the hearts, and you guys are so precious to me. And then tomorrow I'll remember to do an oil scope. I want to talk to you about oregano. I've had several opportunities lately. Did I already talk about oregano? I did. I'll find something else. I want to talk about the Ula oils. They make 7 different oil blends for different subjects that I'm finding really helpful. So, all right. So much love, so much gratitude. Mean it from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much. You too. Oh, great. Thank you. 9 blends, 7 come in a kit, but you can also get them individually. And they're not horribly expensive. Bye.